So, I just watched The Curse of La Llorona. Y'all talking like this is the worst film ever made. Though I absolutely hated the title of the film, I would do fine with, just La Llorona, or maybe call her the Weeping Woman more. I'm here to defend it. Not the film, but the director Michael Chaves. Because I see people talking how this is the guy who's gonna be helming The Conjuring 3 in 2020. This guy? Obviously, I'm not saying The Curse of La Llorona is a perfect film. I think it's far from that. But I do see a seed planting for this guy's future projects. So when the film was announced, I was pretty excited because I knew about this folktale of La Llorona for quite some time now, and I really wanted to see it portrayed on the big screen. The idea of a weeping woman looking for her children can do so much on screen. But also, when I realized that the director who's doing this one is also doing The Conjuring 3, then this takes a turn for me. The Curse of La Llorona becomes like an audition, right, for the audience where Michael gets to prove himself before The Conjuring 3 comes out. Therefore, I really hope that the film would be good. It's like a foundation of what The Conjuring 3 could be. The film turned out to be disappointing like The Nun from last year. It's really just a series of jump scares that's about it. Although we had that, I thought the biggest problem is still the screenplay. One thing I realized in many years of my horror films watching experience is that sometimes for a non-horror film, you have a mediocre director directing a fantastic screenplay, the film will still turn out pretty good because the story is good. But for horror, I figured that the screenplay and the directing both need to be good for the film to be at least watchable. Because you can't write tension, right? You can't write jump scares on paper. That's up to the director to build suspense and tell the scares in a visual medium. So people started attacking Michael Chaves for how much they hated The Curse of La Llorona. It definitely took me off guard because, again, the biggest problem I had with it is still the screenplay. And I think once you can get that out of your head, accepting that this is not a well-written script, everything becomes very cut and dry and simple. I'm not saying the directing is flawless. On the contrary, I think there's a lot of flaws I can talk about. So the two writers who wrote the film also wrote 5 Feet Apart that came out literally a month ago, and you wonder, how the hell did they go from this?
I like seeing you like this.
Like what?
Hopeful.
To this. This is like Luca Guadagnino went from that to that. The Curse of La Llorona definitely has a lot of imagery that I liked, like that hallway scene was pretty good, the car scene and the umbrella scenes they're not that bad, the bathtub scene was okay, the third act has some good stuff in it. There are so many scenes in the film when I'm really starting to see resemblance to the first two Conjuring. This film is really Conjuring-like. Some of the beats are controlled pretty well, some of the camera work are also fine. It's the release that takes the suspense that comes beforehand away, which is weird because I see the potential of the film being great, but it isn't. So, Curious Me went back and dig up some of the work Michael has put out in the past. I must say, they're really not that bad. There's this music video called Make Note of Every Sound that he directed where a woman slices people up with a samurai sword, but instead of blood, red velvet comes out. He also made a music video with Billie Eilish in Bury a Friend with some very awesome cool looking shots and imagery, an action sci-fi short called Regan, I don't know, Regan, a horror short called The Maiden about this real estate agent tries to sell a haunted house. This is the film that got him to direct La Llorona in the first place. Everything that I mentioned, I will leave a link in the description. Feel free to check them out because I really think he did a good job crafting these. Like the visual style is very unique, and I hope he brings it to The Conjuring 3. Apparently, he is also signed to direct another horror film after The Conjuring with Michael Bay producing it, and the same writers who wrote some of the Saw episodes, so that's something to look forward for, I guess. I'm already seeing a lot of resemblance from his past work, like this stuff he likes to do with the camera. The Maiden is basically the short version of La Llorona. There are so many visual cues that he took from this one, like this shot right here, this shot where she's about to drown. But to bring it all home, I ain't mad at La Llorona. As flawed as it is, I hope Michael can take the criticism people are putting out there and use it to improve. Especially since he's doing a project as big as The Conjuring next. I think with the visual style he has and some of the scenes he presented in La Llorona, all he has to do is to clean up the loud noises and the releases, give him a better screenplay to work with, and he might just hit it good with The Conjuring 3. That's why I'm not too worried about the next Conjuring. Again, as a James Wan fanboy, I'm enjoying the hell out of the Conjuring franchise. There are some dookie in the past, like the first Annabelle and the Nun, and for the Conjuring trilogy to be good means a lot to me. So for me to say that I'm not too worried about the third one, hopefully it means something to you too. I still hope Michael can put out more features before The Conjuring, but seeing James Wan has faith in this dude, then we'll just have to wait and see how the trilogy wraps up in the end. Thank you for watching this video. We'll see how The Conjuring 3 goes. Like I said, I'm not too worried about it, but it might be as bad as The Nun. So really, it's really hard to say right now, but you know, we'll see. Thank you for watching this video. Subscribe and yeah, see you next time. Bye.